Hi everyone, this is Iris. Today I'm going to be bringing you along as I get ready for my pinup photo shoot. I'm using my BH Cosmetics eyeshadow palette and I'm starting out with the white eyeshadow and applying that all over my brow bone as a highlight. I've already done my eyebrows as well as my foundation and powder, so I'm just going to go ahead and start highlighting like so. The next colors I'm using are these two shimmery colors from the palette, and I'm going to follow along my natural almond shape and just go along my eyelid like so. I'm using very light brush strokes, but since I did fast forward this video, it looks like I'm being a little more harsh. I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit more just to make sure that the color is showing. Then I'm going to use this coppery color and a thin brush like so, and I'm going to create a shadow just below my brow bone. I'm going to make sure to look straight at the mirror so that I can make sure that these two lines are as close to being even as possible. Then I'm going to use this pinky color with a lighter shade and then use them to blend. I'm going to show you how slow that I'm actually going, and I'm just barely, rubbing it over. Not like that. That was just to show you how not to do it. And I'm just using light strokes and brushing outward, making sure not to drop any of the product on my lower lid. So once I have that nice and blended, then I'm going to go ahead and take this sort of coffee color that comes in the palette as well, and I'm going to define my brow bone, or my orbital bone rather, a little bit more, and then I'm going to go ahead and blend that along with the coppery color. And I'm brushing kind of like upward and out. Now I'm going to take this white color and I'm just going to highlight my eyelids just a little bit more, just for the photo shoot. I really like the way this comes out in pictures, and then I'm just going to go over my highlight a little bit more. Next, I'm going to take a liner brush and I'm going to use some black eyeshadow, and I'm going to line my eyes. I didn't want to do a cat eye for this particular photo shoot because it was going to be out in the daylight, and I just thought a dark liner would be too harsh. So I'm going along with the same brush just on my lower lids, and I'm done. I applied my lashes, and this is the makeup look. It's pretty natural, but it's also very pin-uppy. Moving on to the hair, I sectioned off my bangs and then divided these into three, curled my hair like so to one side. I know it looks a little crazy right now. Then I pinned it down, but later on I worked on it and it didn't look as crazy. Then I put my hair up in a ponytail, making sure not to disturb those front rolls that I have set. And I did use 2 rubber bands to make sure that this ponytail stays in place. Then I applied my larger donut and pinned that into my hair, and then a smaller donut. Yes, you can make these at home. You don't have to buy them, but they're only about $3 at the beauty supply store. Now I'm going to start taking sections of my hair, and I'm going to make sure that I run a curling iron with a clip on it because I really want to smooth it out before I curl it. This will prevent a lot of the frizzies. Now I'm going to be using my Hanz De Fuko Hybridized wax and applying that all over my hair. Now, if it wasn't for the fact that I had to change several times, this would have really, my hair wouldn't have gotten as frizzy as it did during the photo shoot, but this usually is really good for controlling frizz. Unfortunately, like I said, I had to put on dresses and then take them off several times. So I'm going to be pinning these rolls into my little donuts that I have, and that's the beauty of, if you roll a sock onto your hair, you're not going to be able to put bobby pins inside of it. So that's the only downfall to using the sock. So just roll it in the curling iron, and then once it's nice and warm, you can go ahead and roll it with your fingers and then pin it in place like so. And this gets a little repetitive, so I'm not going to show you guys how I did the entire rolls, but you get the picture. Just make sure that you look at a mirror several times to make sure that you're placing it in the location where it appears best. And I'm just pinning this right into my hair. Now as you get closer to the back, you want to divide top and bottom, and then section the top out of the way and start working on the bottom rolls. This way the top rolls will cover the top, and you won't see too much of the longer parts of the curls, and you'll see what I mean in a little bit. See, that's what I'm talking about right there. Then you have the nice little rolls at the top that are covering the longer rolls that are at the bottom. And at this point I was kind of rushing because I should have already been at the photo shoot, and I still had another half hour to drive. So I stopped applying product onto my hair and I just continued to just hurry up and roll. So that's why you see my hair a little frizzy towards the end. Then I just took my bangs and created an S curl. And I was pretty much done. So here I am at the photo shoot. Like I said, I had to take my hair down and put it back up several times because of the constant dress changes, but I think my hair came out really cute. And if you're curious about the dresses that I'm wearing or the place that I'm modeling for, it's called Tarantula Clothing Company. They have their website. This is my Instagram picture. I'll put a link in the description bar to my Instagram. And this was my favorite dress. Very, very beautiful. I will also be posting a behind the scenes blog or vlog on my vlogging channel. But yeah, this is just a very cute dress. And this is another cute dress, but it's very I Love Lucy, I think. I love it. And we took these very beautiful pictures up in the hills in Los Angeles. And in case you're wondering what lipstick I ended up wearing, it's called Ms. Bitch. Sorry, that's the name of the lipstick, and it's by Bitch Slap Cosmetics. And here's another Instagram photo that I had my husband take for me in our ad hoc dressing room. And these are the final pictures that we took. So hopefully you guys received some form of inspiration from my getting ready for a photo shoot look. And again, like I said, if you want to see more videos on behind the scenes, go to my vlogging channel.